College? Classic? Did you say college classic campuses? Well, sure you did. You know what we got here? I'm going to tell you what we got here. We got a Harvest Greg Laurie Gospel of John study guide. Now, it doesn't have no pictures of him on here. I guess that's okay. We don't really need any pictures. But this is what we've got. The Gospel of John. Now, in verse 2 of chapter 9, the disciples asked the question, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? You know, the Jews, they'll make you laugh. I mean, they really will. You'll laugh when you really think about some of the things being said here by the Jews. Okay, so we can assume from this question there was a common teaching that human suffering was the result of sin, and Jesus gives an interesting answer that was very different from the popular belief. According to Jesus, why was this man born blind? Verse 3. Well, let's read. Jesus answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be made manifest to him. That means that Jesus is going to heal it before man. What is something in your life that God has allowed that now you can use for his glory? Hatred. I was a hateful man. Sometimes I still find myself being very hateful. But because of that hatred, my dad's family couldn't love me. I would like to change that this day. There was a division among the Pharisees concerning Jesus. Why? See verse 16. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, this man is not a God, is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, how can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. They didn't believe that he wasn't of God because he was doing miracles that only someone godly can do. So they weren't going to believe the scribes or the Pharisees. They started to turn against each other and their beliefs. Why did the parents of the formerly blind man fear the Jews in verse 22? These words spake his parents because they feared the Jews. For the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was the Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. So they didn't want to confess that Jesus was the actual Christ that they were waiting for and the first coming. And it was him. And so they wanted to throw you out of the synagogue. What that meant was to get thrown out of the synagogue is like to get thrown out of church. Like if you're at a church and they throw you out, other churches know that you were thrown out. They all come against you, all the churches who agree. So it would be pretty tough. It seems that the blind man has more understanding of who Jesus is and where he has come from than the religious Pharisees do. How does he explain this to them? See verses 30 to 33. The man answered and said unto them, why herein is a marvelous thing, that ye know not from whence he is, and yet he hath opened mine eyes. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and doeth his will, him he will heareth. And since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. He couldn't open my eyes. He has to be of God. Who is the Son of God in verse 37? And Jesus said unto him, thou hast seen me. Thou hast seen him, and it is he that talketh with thee. He's talking about himself, Jesus Christ. What is the formerly blind man's response to Jesus in verse 38? And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And that's what you're doing right now, and so am I. We're worshiping the Lord Jesus Christ, and you know what? I love it. We didn't miss it by that much. I want to tell you that the love in my heart is far greater than anything that I deserve. I know. You're saying, why do you want to say that, TC? Because I had hatred in me that's beyond anything that probably any of you could understand. My brother Jerry Bell's Bible. Victory Outreach South Central. But I know that very soon, we're all going to come to understand just how great God is, Danny. And we're going to know Him face to face. This is College Classic Campus Hits. We're entering into 2018. I'm looking forward to it because there are good things invested in 2018 for us versus what we had in our lives for the past 10 years. God bless you.